Know that it's very important to get your body weight in grams of protein every day at least if you're looking to optimize body composition and overall health. But how do I get that much protein if I also fast? That was the question presented to us today, and I think it's a fantastic one. And the answer to me is pretty simple, now, at least for what I do. A modified OMAD, the word diet isn't good, so we won't even say that, eating regimen. So what is OMAD? It's 1 meal a day. And there are many types of time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting regimens. You can go the 16-8, 18-6. You do the 24 warrior. You can do all sorts of stuff, right? The OMAD, again, is 1 meal a day. Now, what do I mean by modified OMAD? Well, what you do is you pretty much just don't eat for the morning. You eat sometime in the early afternoon. For me, it's going to be in a minute here. You cook your food on low, you cover it, you put everything you're going to eat to try to hit close to your body weight in grams, close. I'm 225, I have about 200 grams of protein in that pan in the form of wild-caught salmon and wild-caught flounder. And I go and do something like this while it's cooking, right? And so it's easy, right? It's cheap, I get it at Aldi, it's like $4.25 a pound for both of them, right? It's almost nothing, and it's great food. The nutrition's phenomenal. Now, it's also clean food, so when I do this modified OMAD, which again is not eating until the afternoon, then cooking that type of meal, and then eating as much as you can comfortably right after, and then letting it sit. Then put the cover on it. You know, you could even probably leave it out for a few hours, right? Maybe not for a whole day, right? But then you go back to it and you pick at it slowly throughout the rest of the day, at least for the next few hours. Now, I like to get it all in within, say, 5 or 6 hours at the most. Typically, I'll be done in 4 or 5 hours with all the food. But you do that, you start in the afternoon, you eat for, say again, 4 or 5 hours. And then after that, you don't need to have much more protein to meet the mark, right? And so it makes it feasible to fast and have that large amount of protein that people say is so hard to get in your body weight in grams. I have about 120 to 150% of my body weight in grams, to support optimal body composition, right? And health. Now, you can't just have any sort of protein. You want protein from, meat and whole food from nature, and not just any meat. Meat that's not processed, no antibiotics, no hormones, no additives, no crap, right? And if it's too expensive for you to get, which, that's a whole nother thing, it depends what you're worth, right? And what your goals are. What better you're going to spend the money on, if you ask me, but then your health. But you can get it frozen, right? Just get it frozen. And again, you don't even have to thaw it. I just put it in the pan and cook it on low. The modified OMAD works, my friends. So I do that, and then after I finish that meal, after I pick it, maybe I need another 25 grams of protein or so. Now it's feasible. Now you're in a position where it's very reasonable from what you ate, and you ate clean food, right? Again, I'm eating fish, wild-caught fish, so that goes down easy, right? I can eat about half of that pan, the full bag of wild-caught salmon I have in there, and the full bag of flounder in, probably 30 minutes, because my body's hungry. I worked out in the morning, at least if you work out before especially, you should be hungry enough to eat a decent bit of that. And I have some brown rice and quinoa with it in the form of the 90-second organic bag that you find at Aldi, right? And the only additive there is extra virgin olive oil, which is fantastic aside from the grains themselves. And, that's a lot better than any of those, sunflower, rapeseed oil, all that kind of crap, right? Soybean oil, canola oil. Those are pro-inflammatory, cause chronic disease, right? So, it's great stuff. It's easy. That goes in the microwave for 90 seconds. I cover the pan. I do that. And after that, I'll have a little cottage cheese, some 2G yogurt you find at all these. Oikos is really good. That's probably the best yogurt out there right now. Oikos Pro especially. And you don't have to eat protein bars all day, and you don't have to eat scoops of isolated whey, right? So whey protein isolate's better than concentrate typically because it has more pure whey protein, right, as a supplement. But, guys, I don't take any of that stuff. I get it all from food. I do take BCAAs because they support muscle growth, and especially if I did not get enough protein that day and I need to meet my protein goal, right, hit the mark. But, it's just, and I get them in isolation with no additives. They taste like crap. So before I even mention that, which is why I mentioned it so late in this video, modified OMAD, pretty much don't eat in the morning, start in the afternoon, eat most of the food at once. You have one big pan of almost all your food for the day. Pick at it over the next few hours, finish up strong. If you need some more fiber or something, have some chia seeds, right? Have some blueberries, have some frozen spinach, things like that in a blender. It's delicious. Things of that nature. You could have some nuts and seeds in general. And all of that's from nature, and all of that is delicious, right? And that's a reasonable way to get all the protein that you need while still fasting and getting those benefits of getting in ketosis, which especially is vamped up 18 hours into a fast. You know, I don't recommend women fast for more than 18 hours that are in their reproductive years. It could cause fertility issues and things, hormonal issues, things of that nature, right? So we want to stay away from that if you're a female. But that's plenty long. And you know what? If you eat really healthy food all the time, you don't even need to fast. This is more for the person that is trying to optimize their body composition, has had a tough time doing so, and finds it difficult to eat all of their protein that they're supposed to eat, according to what I tell them and what you see online all over the place. Now that's a huge thing, in one day, right? So maybe give it a go. See what you can do. You could use some pasture-raised eggs in there too, things of that nature. But you know, aside from getting you into ketosis, what else do we got with the fasting? Well, of course, it's reducing inflammation. It's improving insulin sensitivity. So how your body can process blood sugar. So once you eat that meal, you're going to be able to process those carbohydrates to a much more effective degree. Right? It won't spike your insulin to the same degree when you eat those things, right? Especially if they're complex carbohydrates like the quinoa that have a good bit of soluble fiber in them to help feed your gut bacteria and slow digestion, right? And the absorption of the carbs. We also have boosted growth hormone, boosted testosterone, boosted brain-derived neurotrophic factor. I mean, it's just phenomenal for you, is intermittent fasting, but you can do it in a reasonable fashion. You don't have to be black and white and do either 16-8, 18-6, OMAD itself. You don't have to be black and white and do a carnivore diet. You don't have to be black and white and be a vegetarian. You can just have a mix of all of it that makes sense. You don't have to be black and white and be a liberal or be a conservative. You can just be a good person, right? I mean, just common sense, you know? So, you know, we don't have to put ourselves in these categories that society tells us to, and we could do a really great job if we just make some fine-tuning, you know, modifications to what's already out there while standing on the shoulders of giants, catering to our unique circumstances and our schedule, right? And I think the modified OMAD is one that has really worked well for me, and I feel great, you know? I don't feel starving all morning. You know, I eat good whole food, so the next day, you know, even though I fasted all throughout the night when I was sleeping, of course, you know, I feel sharp, and I take Super U in the morning, and that helps a lot too, right? But even before I had Super U, had created it, you know, it's really great stuff, and this is a reasonable way to get all that protein in a day. So what if you're having protein that is in the form of, say, you know, whey protein isolate, or you're having protein bars? Well, those are lower quality protein, guys. You know, the whey isolate, actually, believe it or not, will spike your insulin. It's one of the major spikers of insulin. You can look it up online. We always think about sugar, but, you know, other things do too. Whereas if you have the protein, you know, in meat and with other nutrients that come inherently in that food from nature, it doesn't have the same effect on your blood sugar and spike it like that as much, right? So your body can better handle it, and, you know, it's no secret that you're probably going to absorb it better because it's combined with other things as nature intended for it to be digested and absorbed and utilized by your body. So, you know, maybe stay away from all that kind of stuff. I don't supplement with anything like that. Like I said, BCAAs here and there, right? But, you know, if I got a ton of protein that day, would I even take the BCAAs? No, well, no, right? If I had 150% of my body weight in grams of protein, do you think I need more BCAAs? They're in food, right? They're in food. So food first and foremost, supplementation second. Try the modified OMAD if you're having a tough time, you know, optimizing your body composition, and you're having a tough time getting all that protein in the day, which is the number one thing for fat burning. And that's what we got for you. So I hope you guys got something out of that. I hope it helps you in some way. Happy birthday, Brandon Malone. Happy birthday, man. You're an OG on When Wellness. I don't know if you're on here right now because I'm too far from the screen to really look at it, but I will in a minute. And I hope you have a great day, man. I never met you in person, but I'm sure you're a cool dude, and I appreciate you supporting When Wellness and watching every video. And I you know, I really hope they help you, man. So happy birthday. This one's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandon Malone. Happy birthday to you. So many more, man. Have an awesome day. Enjoy it. Who do we got on here? We got Luis, Dr. Johnny. What's up, Box? Nick, how you doing? Dave, that's right, dude. That's also the Bishop Nice. What's up? Love you, dog. You're the man. Clara, nice to see you on here, my dear. We'll talk. Malcolm, what's up, brother? Love you too, man. Ravanda Woodson, Luna, Sam, Tammy, Jay Fitz, Sabia. There she is. OG, Paul. the well-known Brandon. I know, man. You see, I knew that already. Happy birthday, dude. I just sang to you. I hope you were still on here. You know, Dave, that's right. I love it, man. I was there this morning. I did chest. It was great. Adana Garman, Kevin, Ash, what's up, pretty girl? How you doing? 7-7 Duke. And as for now, my fine feathered friends. That's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when. You're damn right. We will see you then. Have an amazing day. Thank you. Happy Win Wellness.